Hello, my informative speech is about October of 1981. Not only was October of 1981 an extremely important time for my live audience, because it was the month that yours truly was born, but it was also an interesting time in our country and culture. I'd like to start out by acknowledging some of our cultural experience and national news and events. In October of 1981, the top TV shows included Dallas, which was a long-running primetime soap opera revolving around a wealthy Texas family, 60 Minutes, which was a CBS News magazine that was the first program of its kind to utilize the unique style of reporter-centered investigating, which is still in the air today, and Three's Company, a sitcom revolving around three single roommates who all platonically shared an apartment and got into all sorts of shenanigans. MTV was only in its third month on air, and an unknown rock performer named Prince opened for the Rolling Stones at the Los Angeles Coliseum. The chart-topping songs of the U.S. were Endless Love by Diana Ross and Lionel Richie, and Arthur's Song by Christopher Cross. In Oakland, California, a professional cheerleader named Crazy George Henderson, crazy with a K, led what is thought to be the first audience wave, like those you see at sporting events today. First-class stamps were 18 cents, and the average gas prices were $1.38 per gallon. Wouldn't that be nice? A company called International Business Machines, or IBM as you may know it today, introduced its long-awaited version of the personal computer. For IBM, an introduction of the PC was a revolutionary moment. Prior to this, the strength of the company focused mainly on large mainframe computers which offered centralized data processing. Those computers were so large they would take up entire rooms of office buildings. President Ronald Reagan and his Vice President George Bush were facing a national debt hitting $1 trillion, which, as we all know from recent nonstop political ads, is upwards of $16 trillion. A British writer was having some doubts about a body in a grave marked Lee Harvey Oswald, and he caused the body to be exhumed and identified as the man who assassinated John F. Kennedy. A 12-year-old boy named Walter Plavchik, who stayed in the United States in 1980 after his parents had returned to the Soviet Union, was granted political asylum. In Egypt, Islamic extremists assassinated Anwar Sadat, the president of Egypt. Terrorists, who were all wearing uniforms, stopped in front of the reviewing stand and fired shots into a crowd of Egyptian government officials. Sadat was shot 4 times, dying 2 hours later. 10 other people were also killed in that attack. Making headlines in Washington, D.C., a disease that had caused a number of deaths within the nation's homosexual community and among Haitian immigrants to the United States had been identified by doctors in America and France, called Human Lymphotropic Virus 3, or HLTV3, at the National Cancer Institute. The ailment had been given the name AIDS for Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome. It was found to be spread by the exchange of bodily fluids through sexual contact using contaminated hypodermic needles or blood transfusions. The virus was known to destroy T lymphocytes, which are white blood cells that help defend the body against immune diseases. AIDS deaths were usually occurring from massive systemic or cancer. Known cases of the disease had at that time been limited to homosexual men, but the potential for epidemic was rising. So as you can see, October of 1981 had a lot going on. The world as we know it was changing, and we were just trying to keep up. Here's a lovely shot of my adoring audience.
Hello there, and I appreciate it in 1981. It was a good year for me.